When Pitch Black originally launched in Japan, Dhelmise Hide and Sneak took the format by storm, able to KO Dragapult for 1 energy. Since then, well, it's more like Jubilee. Yeah, Hide and Sneak is completely off the top 10 best decks in Japan tier list from Book. And why, do you ask? Because outside of Dragapult, Dhelmise can definitely struggle. So today's gameplay video will explore if Hide and Sneak is alive or if it's met its demise. As a quick refresher, the Hide and Sneak ability protects against all effective attacks and abilities. So the 6 bench damage counters from Dragapult's Phantom Dive are nullified, while the abilities of Munkidori, Dusknoir, and Froslass can't affect them either. Yeah, they clearly created an entire archetype designed to stop Dragapult. Unfortunately, the attacks kinda suck. Early though, going Shuppet into Banette is never a bad idea, potentially KOing something weak and getting any card. And Sinistcha does spread 4 damage counters to each of their Pokemon, meaning Patrat to stop a Munkidori is a necessity. Ultimately, Dhelmise is the only reason this deck functions. Get 4 Sneakers in the discard pile, it does 170 damage. With Lily's Clefairy down, that's one-shotting Dragapult. And thanks to telepathic benching 2 Psychic types, you can get it up fairly easily. But the problem is that Dhelmise tops out at 170. Other matchups are rough, which is where Spiritomb can be helpful. Get 13 Sneakers in the bin with Gwyn and Prism Tower and Ultra Ball and Brilliant Blender. This guy quadruples the number of damage counters on 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. If you only face Dragapult and they're inexperienced, this deck will absolutely steamroll them. If they know what they're doing though, well, it can get rough like a rock. Luckily, the PTCGL ladder reset today, and all those tryhards in the 2000s of Arceus League are back on the same playing field as those of us who know what it's like down in the depths of the 1200s, so you should expect a lot of dragons. Alright, so I've got some good news and some bad news. The good news is we started Shuppet. The bad news is well, actually, we're going to take a knockout next turn, which is also really cool. But we're facing our first ever Dragapult. That's concerning a little bit, but I have the Gwyn to get rid of 2 Poltergeist. Eevee, thank you for the money. I always appreciate when you give me money, when you whip it out. I really enjoy it when Eevee whips it out. What, did they just immediately, that's, okay. First ever Dragapult game, and we get immediate boss's orders. Was not expecting that. All right, well, I have to Gwyn away the double Poltergeist, and then hope for, like, yeah, hope for exactly that. So let's go Pokepad to thin out the hand, or thin out the deck a little bit more. Let me guess, I didn't prize the Clefairy. That would have been hilarious if I did. So I will have the full thing. So I have already won this game. I've already beaten off a Dragapult player. It's really funny. Beating off Dragapult players is the best thing one can do. It's the most fun anyone can have in this world. And then I think I evolve into Banette here. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I do that. And then I'll put the air balloon. Yeah, let's just play the hand, right? Let's just play the entire hand, because they're probably not going to do anything for a little bit. And it's Dragapult, right? It's Dragapult. It's day 1 of a brand new set. I have to assume yeet those cards. Yeah, yeet those cards. All you can yeet. And I do have a tweet that's going up now-ish, or in like an hour, about how the fact that you can play TCG Masters, they're gonna go for a Fez. Oh, okay, then I win the game. Moonside, I'm sorry to say, I have won the game because you did nothing. You know, if you'd been able to mount and Badoo me, you had a chance. If you were able to get a Dragapult this turn, you had probably not a chance. But this is just, yeah, this is just a nightmare scenario for Dragapult. But the problem that I have is that there's no number on screen telling you how many Sneakers are in your discard pile. Right? If you go and play TCG Masters or Magic Arena, or, I mean, I'm sure there's something else. I'm sure Twin Leaf does it as well. I haven't played Twin Leaf in a while. But if you play a lot of other games, oh my God, an unfair stamp with Dragapult just naturally getting an unfair stamp? Oh my God, what a shock. I've never seen. Okay, this is a little obscene here. Oh my God. Okay. Remember in my video when I said Dragapult players were going to sweat like they didn't get a turn 1 Lilies into everything? They got a turn 2 everything. They got turn 2 Lilies, double Dracloak, stamp, every freaking thing you can imagine. And now I think I have to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to be in this situation, but I have to. The question is, do I put the Shuppet down? I think the answer is no. And I can't put the Clefairy down either. But maybe I have to take the risk with the Clefairy. Because I only have one Night Stretcher, though. I have multiple balls I can play with. I'm going to risk it. I'm going to risk it and go for the Clefairy because we all know what this matchup is. So then the question is, do I retreat off the energy? I think I do. I think this is the correct call here, is I go Puppet Pull, take the knockout, and then go for Explorer's Guidance or Telepathic. It's either Explorer's Guidance or Telepathic. I think Telepathic is the smart one. Or I guess Lily's might be the smart one. Oh, I'm going to go Heart of the Cards. Heart of the Cards moment. But this is what I talked about in the lead up to Pitch Black, is that Banette So YouTube audience, you didn't see this, but this is the second time I've gotten Explorer's Guidance off of a prize card right after I used Puppet Pull. The first time I got Explorer's Guidance, and then my first prize was Explorer's Guidance, and it was like, seriously, PTCGL. So apparently, if you use Puppet Pull and you play Explorer's Guidance in your deck, you're going to get the Explorer's Guidance off the prizes. But this is what you have to remember, is that Banette is a lot better than you think it is. You know, you look at the Sinistcha, and you're like, oh, wow, Sinistcha's not that great. Matcha Spin, 4 damage counters on all their Pokemon. That's just Monkey Dory fodder. You know, you need 6 Sneakers in the discard pile. That's not very good. Oh, there's the bosses. Okay. Are they... is this a Dragapult player having a tough time? What is happening? Oh. What the hell? Okay, I see what they're doing. I'm not the biggest fan of it. Oh, we got the Gwyn. Damn it. Trust Your Pilot has a choice to make here. I think it's Prism Tower down. Not Patrat down, because I'm only taking back shots right now. Gwyn doesn't make sense. I guess it's Explorer's Guidance. Of course. I think it's Explorer's Guidance, and we got nothing. Fantastic. All right, well, yeah, let's Pokepad. And then that's Fantasticer. And then I can Pokepad for, I guess, the Banette. You know, remember when I had a choice between Telepathic and Lily's, and I chose, I chose the smart play. Trust Your Pilot went the smart way. Oh, because that's what you want to do, is you want to do the smart thing. All right, well, you know what, PTCGL, you know what? I'm going to give you a chance to redeem yourself. Oh my God, you did. Oh, see, Dragapult, absolute free wins. Free wins. It's the freest of matchups in the entire freaking world. Oh my God, this has to be in the YouTube video. Like, who cares that Dragapult isn't, you know, getting her done right now? What would they have realistically done, right? You have to think about this. Yes, Dragapult did not have it this game, but what would they have realistically done to win this game? The answer is they would have knocked out Dhelmise, put 6 damage counters probably on Clefairy or Dhelmise, whatever. But then the turn would have played out the exact same, right? I probably would have gone up with Banette, and then I would have dug for that energy. I would have knocked out their Dragapult. They would be down a Crispin, and then we'd just be in the same spot. So they would have one extra prize, which would weaken a Lily's. But the thing is, I win this game if they put another Dragapult into play. That is it. That is how do you beat Dragapult? Dragapult is not a free win, but I would say you have a 6 to 70% chance of beating Dragapult with Dhelmise, and that gets even higher because it's the beginning of the format. There's the Crispin. So because it's the beginning of the format, there's no way they're attacking with Monkey Dory. A lot of people are going to be inexperienced in this matchup right now. Okay, I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. I think I'm totally okay just waiting, right? You want to get set up and beat my balls off? That's fine. I'll just Lilies and we'll go from there. All right, well, that's interesting. Okay, so let's go. Oh, let's play with my balls. I think I'd go and get a Sinistcha. And then if we end up in a world where they decide not to do anything, then I'm at least threatening a retreat here. So I'll go done. I'm not going to risk the... Nah, come on. Trust your pilot changes. Come on, we're gonna flip heads. See, why do I even think? Why do I bother doing the smart thing? I did the smart thing getting the lilies. That almost cost me the game. You know, I did the dumb thing with the confusion. That's gonna win me the game. I prized all my explorer's guidance, apparently. Come on, you do the funny thing, right? If you have your opponent buy the balls, you squeeze them as hard as you can, okay? That is the rules, right? And then there's the Crispin. So in order for them to win the game, they're down their unfair stamp, so they can't stamp me. A Crushing Hammer does nothing. They use Crispin, so they can't bosses. The only way they could have won the game is if they bring up the Lily, knock out the Dhelmise, and then stamp me to 2, and I never find the Night Stretcher. That is about the only chance they had of making a comeback here. And yes, the Desperation Monkey Dory. You know you're going to win against Dragapult when they have to do the Desperation Monkey Dory Mind Bend Confusion. And it's also very important, do not give your opponent a Prism Tower unless you have to, right? There's no reason to put a Prism Tower into play prematurely. Okay. I'm just going to go for it. I mean, it worked for me last time. Why wouldn't I do it again? All right, so let's go for Prism Tower. Let's get that guy down. I do need to put the Prism Tower into play simply because my balls will fall off if I don't. So remember, that's one of the negatives of playing a Dhelmise deck is that your balls will fall off if you don't put Prism Tower into play. So, you know, it's the... You know, they talked about hiding and sneaking. That's the hidden part of this. All right, so let's go attach to you. And then done. Well, let's just, come on. Come on, bro. Oh, come on. You could have at least given us a little bit of fun times. All right, well, I'll just send them the Banette. So they need bosses. They need to knock out the Clefairy. But the thing is, I gave myself a Night Stretcher, right? That was the thing. It was okay if I flipped Tails, because I kept the Night Stretcher in the hand. The only way I can lose is if I can't recover the Lily's Clefairy. That is it. I lose the game if Lily's Clefairy gets knocked out this... Yeah, so when I said I experienced bugs today, there hasn't been any new ones. It's only been the old ones. Yeah, there you go. See, that card just randomly appeared in their hand. So and the game froze for them. So they are not taking their time selecting a card. Oh, see, oh my God, look at this. They're going to play Boss's Orders. So PTCGL has frozen, but the battle log has lied. So this is, again, people ask me, have there been any bugs today? Nothing new. Good news is, no new bugs today. Bad news is, all the old ones are still here. So the game freezing during their turn, and then the battle log overcorrecting. You know, the number in their hand is different, which shouldn't be a thing. So you can see how this can be a sketchy matchup, but if I hadn't been able to recover, God, they haven't said this is a glitch, right? They haven't said this is not a glitch. They didn't say in their release notes, oh, we're doing a really funny thing where the avatars are stuck in pitch black. No, this is a glitch where the avatars look, you know, washed out and stuff. But yeah, you can see how that can be a tough matchup where if they get Dragapult turn 2, you know, they go first, they get Dragapult turn 2, they knock out a Clefairy, you can't recover the Clefairy, life is over. But if you can play with your balls, everything is good. So this is basically the exact same start as last time. I'm going to take a risk and not do anything. I'm going to take a risk, not do anything. I could have put the other Shuppet down and it's like, who cares? If this is Slowking again... Oh, it's Excadrill. Okay, so I did beat Excadrill earlier. This is not exactly how you want to go about it because Fezandipity is actually really good in this matchup. So Clout God probably doesn't know that Fezandipity is super duper cracked in this matchup and that they should only focus on Fezandipity, you know, early to knock out some things and then switch to Excadrill and use healing. And there's so wait, they petroled for lilies. And they had the Poffin, so I guess they prized the trolley? Oh, they're going so they're playing the Cedar Box build. But if they're playing Cedar Box, that's also weird, right? If they're playing Cedar Box, that's also a weird move. Because you would go get the Cedar Box. right? But yeah, so they're playing the Drillbur. Drillbur is very good. You don't need to play Precious Trolley. I still think Precious Trolley is the best way because it just takes, you know, less risk. But Call for Family allows you to not play Precious Trolley. You know what? They shouldn't have done that. I'm gonna beat them off for that. I was unable to beat them off. I tried, and I tried so hard, and I didn't get very far. Okay, so let's play with my balls. We definitely don't want the Clefairy on the field. And then I go and get, oh God, dude. I really don't want to double attach. This is so awkward. I don't want to double attach to a Shuppet. Okay, I know this is stupid. I don't want to double attach to a Shuppet. Okay, that is the entire reasoning behind that move. Is I just have no desire to double attach to a Shuppet. I'm sorry. Okay, I got the knockout on the Drillbur. I know I'm wasting a Night Stretcher, which I should probably save. But they gave me a Drillbur for free. I didn't even have to work for it. So let's go for... So Gwyn doesn't do anything. Explorer's Guidance we already got. I guess Brilliant Blender? Or do I go for another Telepathic? No, honestly, I think it's Poffin. Because what you'll notice really quickly is that the Sinistcha is... Oh, they didn't fix this glitch. And then I get a Poltergeist off. This is the weirdest thing. Is every time I've used Puppet Pull and said I'm going to get a card from the deck, it's immediately invalidated by what I get off the prizes. This is 3 games in a row. I've played 3 games with Banette, Dhelmise, Hide and Sneak. 3 games in a row, the card I got off the prizes right after the Puppet Pull was the card I was either getting or going to get. They're listening. Okay, so the way you win this matchup is you attack with the Sinistcha. Obviously, what I can do is just, you know, set up an Excadrill and then Spiritomb for game and just hope they only have 1 Jumbo Ice Cream. But this is why I am 100 million bajillion Fafillion% on Team Spiritomb, and I haven't seen a Jumbo Ice Cream, is that you can hit into an Excadrill. They can heal it once with Jumbo Ice Cream. Wait, how does math work? 170 minus 80 is 90, 90, 180. Yeah, so see, math. You can hit into an Excadrill with Dhelmise, do 170. They can heal it for 90, or 80, sorry. They can heal it for 80. Yeah. Everyone, hold on to your butts. Pilots doing math. They will have 90 hit points left. You quadruple it with Spiritomb, that's 360. Phallic Lily, thank you for the sub. And then, oh, wait, what? Are they going to go for the Undermine? Are they the Underminer? Okay, so this is potentially bad. Unless they hit 2 sneakers. Oh no! No! Those were the... What the hell was that? Those were the 2... I only have 1 Night Stretcher left. I only have 1 Night Stretcher left. I have 1 Night Stretcher left. Uh-oh. That's not good. Okay, so there's the Blender. I guess I go for... yeah, I got enough Prism Towers. Okay, so Blender away everything we don't need, which is, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 1 Night Stretcher. That's going to have to carry us to the win here. All right, so let's go Pokepad for the Sinistcha. And then let's just, you know, let's see what they do, right? If they don't heal the Excadrill, I win the game. If they do heal the Excadrill, I am majorly screwed. So if they don't heal the Excadrill, if they don't play Jumbo Ice Cream, I've won the game. You know, a Full Metal Lab doesn't matter. If they have Iron Defender, which is it's like a Premium Power Pro, but in the opposite direction for metal types. If they play Full Metal Lab, that's fine. The only thing that can save them here from me just beating off the Excadrill is a Jumbo Ice Cream. So if they give the Excadrill some Ice Cream, they probably win. Or if they have AZ's Tranquility. That is another card that's gained popularity in Excadrill, is AZ's Tranquility, is because it heals 80 if it's your active, or it's just a switch card, right? Most likely it's going to be heal of 80. So that is another card I've liked in Mega Excadrill. They got the Jumbo Ice Cream. Okay. That was insane, though. They literally hit the 2 cards they could not hit from my deck. I had, I think, 10 sneakers left in the deck. They hit Spiritomb and Meowth. One of them is my win condition. One of them is my win condition, so naturally they hit it. All right, well, that is probably their only ice cream, so that's okay. But I'm not sure if I can win this one. This is just getting a little tricksy. It's getting a little false. Okay, they got the switch, so they're going into the Genesect. Okay, then I doubly win now. I doubly, quadruply, triply win now. So as long as I can find that stupid freaking Night Stretcher, I will win the game. Okay, as long as the Night Stretcher shows up at some point, Trust Your Pilot will win this game. All right, so let's play with my balls. Let's get rid of that and that. There's another Sinistcha. I need the stupid Night Stretcher, though. All right, and I can't get rid of these 2 Sinistcha because the reason I can't get rid of the Sinistcha is because I might find Gwyn. Okay, we got the Night Stretcher. Poltergeist has free retreat. That's another very important thing is the Poltergeist has free retreat. So let's go Prism Tower, away the Poffin and the Ultra Ball. So I win the game next turn. Okay, that's, yeah, we're not going to evolve into you. I literally win the game next turn if all they do is attack. But if they freaking bosses the Poltergeist, fun fact, I probably lose. Well, actually, no, I probably still win. But I have to go Night Stretcher for Spiritomb. It's very important that you remember the Poltergeist has free retreat. That is an extremely important thing to remember is that Poltergeist has free retreat. And remember, it's prevented all effects of your opponent's attacks and abilities. So Froslass can't hurt it, Monkey Dory can't hurt it, Dragapult can't Phantom Dive ping it. So unless they're playing a spread card, as long as they don't spread their cheeks on you, it's great. So, you know, when Dhelmise has a 3 retreat cost, retreating for free is kind of tough. You know, you have to attach an air balloon and then hard retreat or play Latinas. As much as I enjoy playing with Latinas, oh, I got to count. 4, 8, 10, 12, 13. Okay. So the Sinistcha, so I prized like 3 sneakers. Oh no, I got the Poltergeist. Okay. I prized 2 sneakers. I have to put the Sinistcha in the discard pile. I did not plan for that. Pilot should have gotten rid of the Sinistcha. That was really dumb that he didn't. But this is what I was talking about, is there should be a number on screen. And you're saying, oh, well, why don't you just count it yourself? Okay, the reason that that's dumb is A, this is a digital card game where things are available to you off the rip, right? Why have the number for cards remaining in your deck or how many prizes are remaining when you can just count them yourself? Boom, you just got piloted into the ground. Number 2 is that so let's say my opponent has 3 minutes remaining on their timer and I have 16 minutes. If I take 30 seconds, PTCGL is going to get mad at me. Right? This is not a game where you can take your time to think out each move, especially if your opponent's timer's been going for a lot longer. If you take more than 30 seconds, PTCGL freaks out at you. So wasting time to count is actually a hindrance. That's Trust Your Pilot's word of the day is hindrance. But yes, this is 100% why I'm Team Spiritomb, is just the card is so fan-flippin-tastic. So let's go there. I believe I have 13. Trust Your Pilot is not going to do the math because math is for nerds. Okay? Math, remember, say it with me now. Math is for nerds. And what are we? We're cool people. So why am I still playing cards? Because I'm not confident. Okay. 4, 8, yeah, 13 exactly. I told you. It was never in jeopardy. I was never Ken Jennings. And look at, isn't this a beautiful sight? Look at that, 420, 270, complete butt wipe. I just completely wiped their butt with Spiritual End. All 5 prizes. Because I have the Poltergeist. Again, Trust Your Pilot doing math, never a good thing. Nothing good happens when Trust Your Pilot does math. So there you go. But that is why the Spiritomb is so awesome is, I hit into an Excadrill. Oh yeah, it's terminal period on steroids. I hit into an Excadrill with Dhelmise. They healed it with their one Jumbo Ice Cream. Didn't matter. I still won the game with Spiritual End. I am not 100% confident this game will appear in the YouTube video because the game did just freeze for like 2 minutes. And I was going to say it. But I didn't want to jinx it. We're facing Dragapult, and guess what we prized? We're facing Dragapult. Guess what we prized? I always say it. We always do it. It's so much fun. We always prize the Clefairy against Dragapult. You can always bank on it. 50% of the time, if you're facing Dragapult with a Psychic deck and your name is Trust Your Pilot and you're only playing one Clefairy because, you were testing out a Froslass build, you are going to prize Clefairy. And the turn 1 Crispin. Okay, well, if I can Prism Tower, I'll put the Froslass down, even though it's a terrible decision. I'm going to put the Froslass into play, because I'm a risk-taker. I'm a fart smeller. How the hell did I get everything but? How did I get everything but the Banette? Literally every Pokemon in my deck that's not Banette. All right, do I have... No, that's not going to do it. Okay, so Snorunt down. Let's go... I mean, they probably have a Monkey Door, and I'm going to get screwed over here. And I was going to play Toucannon tomorrow or the next day, but everyone said, oh, Pilot, you got to play Excadrill. So tomorrow's Excadrill, and then Toucannon might not be till Monday or something. Because the problem with Toucannon is that it works in like 69 different decks. I can't just make a video and say Toucannon with blah, blah, blah is the best. It's Toucannon is the best, but it's like which version? There's so many different versions. Obviously Area Zero is good, but I think Gravity Mountain Brave Bangle is really strong. There's just no perfect version. Toucannon with Zangoose? No, I will not be playing Zangoose unless you give me a ton of money. Did they just ditch a Dragapult and a Badoo? What are you Badooing, step bro? All right, that's cool. Oh, yep, and then here comes the... Okay, at least they're flipping tails on Crushing Hammer. How much for Zangoose? Well, I won't have time, right? I won't have time to do it anytime soon. Nah, that doesn't work. And then literally the next freaking card was the Banette. Of course. Oh yeah, the next freaking card was the Banette. Who could have guessed such a thing? Who could have guessed that Trust Your Pilot's next card was going to be Banette? Oh, I don't know. Could it have been literally anyone with half a brain? Oh, I think so. God. Literally, figuratively, you can suck my butt. Literally and figuratively, you can suck my butt. All right, well, I think I just get like Morty's Conviction or something. I don't know. We're not going to get the card we need. I prized the Legacy Energy too? I prized the Legacy Energy and the Clefairy. God, this game is great. And best of all is the Banette gets knocked out going into their turn. So that's another really bad thing is the Banette will get knocked out going into their turn. So I'm just ultra screwed today. Yeah, they got the Dragapult. Well, this is good. As long as they don't have boss's orders, I win. Thank you. Okay, so they don't have boss's orders. So that's great. They had to manually attach. They can't power up the Monkey Dory. Well, that's fine, because you're not using it when I have my Legacy Energy. So I could actually win this game, even though I have no business winning this game, because they have to knock out the Banette. Knocking out the Banette activates Dhelmise. It would be really cool if I had one of them cards that, lets me hit a dragon for weakness. Yeah, I know they have more hammers. It's hammer time happens at least, hammer time happens at least twice a day. So yeah, this Legacy Energy is probably not long for this world, but they're only taking one prize. They're going to spread... Oh, that's a bad move. Literally, the game would be over right now if I had Clefairy. Literally, I knock out the Dragapult, the game is over. But of course, no. Okay, so the Frostlasses are set up. That's not good. They're probably going to try to boss as a Froslass next turn. If I had to guess, I'd say they're going to boss up Froslass, take double KO. And I think it's just going to be Morty's, right? Yeah, Morty's away a sneaker. So let's go for Pokepad. I have to Morty's away. Yeah, let's just go get the Banette. Draw 5. That is terrible. Thank you. That is, that couldn't have gone worse. All right, let's go for the... Yeah, I can't put anyone down because of the stupid risky ruins. I have to go for Vengeful Anchor. So this is really good. Except for when they attach a Darkness Energy to Monkey Dory, then bosses up my Froslass, take double Froslass KO. This is great. Aside from the fact that everything's about to go wrong, this is great. Because, you know, I just have Dragapult KO if they don't have bosses. If they can just not have bosses. I would rather they hit Crushing Hammer and not have bosses. I mean, they're still knocking out one Froslass, but then the Monkey Dory would get knocked out going into their turn. Oh, okay. I'm willing to accept the Crushing Hammer if they don't have bosses, okay? This is the pact I'm making with PTCGL. I'm allowing them to hit their hammer, but they can't have bosses. Those are the rules. Okay, that's a little weird, but I guess the more information you have, the better. Okay, so Prism Towers have disappeared when I need them. That's cool. Love that. I love it when the card you need never shows up when you need it, but then you're facing Dragapult and they just always have it, and you prize your Clefairy and life sucks. But we got this. Okay, Pablo, what prize is my Clefairy then? God, imagine how many cards did they draw this turn? They drew 1. I mean, they saw 5. Oh, wait, what? Wait a minute. Sparkling Crystal. What the hell is Sparkling Crystal doing as your... What the hell is happening? Okay, they're playing with their balls. Okay, Grebulon is... But Grebulon's been subbed, so I have to choose prize card number 4. All right, well, that's really good. So the Monkey Dory gets knocked out. That's good. If I just get a bosses... You know, the deck only has 3, I think. All right, so the Monkey Dory gets knocked out coming into their turn. Prism Tower top deck. Wee. My balls. Oh, yes, very, very shy. Okay, here we go. The question is, do I risk putting a Froslass into play? Or another Snow Runt? And also, do I risk playing with the Night Stretcher? I don't think I can risk the Night Stretcher here. Oh, God. Okay, I'm going to go Prism Tower away the Sinistcha and the Gwyn. Fantastic as always, PTCGL. All right, let's go. Oh, man, I don't even know. Do I Gwyn? Because I'm not taking a knockout. I guess I Gwyn away the Banette. Yeah, and just draw... What the hell is this crap? All right, so let's get rid of Gwyn Ultra Ball. Go for the Snow Runt. I think I have to put the Snow Runt down. The problem with that is if they just have a Monkey Dory and a Darkness Energy, then I lose. No, I'm going to win. No, this is how confident I am. And I like how, yes, but the problem is that I'm probably going to have to recover that Psychic. So yes, there's a very valid reason. Oh, I didn't go for number 4. I went autopilot there. Yes, there's a very valid reason to do that, but I'm probably going to have to do the thing. And then they just got the Monkey Dory back. Fantastic. They're going to have the Darkness Energy. Great. Love that. And they're going to bosses and clap my cheeks. And there's a Frisky Ruins. Everything's going great. And Oppenheimer, yeah, that was the Spiritomb build, the one that played Brilliant Blender. All right, so I've probably lost this game. Oh, hello. Wait, they didn't take a what? In the butt? Okay, so they did the right thing. So yes, they have won this game. This is the deck to counter Dragapult because I'm playing the Froslass build. This is not the build used to beat off a Dragapult player. This is the build that is used to beat off everybody else. Also, I prized everything I needed to win. Yeah, I'll pick number 4 this time. Okay, so I'll pick number 4 this time for you. And we'll see. So we'll see. Was it number 4? Not that it would have, I mean, it would have helped me win a lot earlier. So number 4 and 6. Was it number 4? It was number 4. You were right. It was number 4. I should have picked number 4. It wouldn't have helped me win. I needed to get it as my first prize. So this always happens. I think I have to put it in the YouTube video just to show you that you have to get the Clefairy, but I only play 1 copy because I'm playing a Froslass build. So I just went, oh, YOLO it. Okay, they're just being a butt face at this point. All right, yes, I get it. You're a Dragapult player. We understand. You're a Dragapult player. We get it. So YouTube audience, you have to play 2 Clefairy, but the reason I went with the Froslass build is because it helps against every other thing, and then you just have to not prize your Clefairy against Dragapult. So naturally, I prize the Clefairy. As long as I play Shaymin, this is an auto win. As long as Shaymin is in the list, this is an auto win. Oh, God. Well, we have Patrat. That's good, right? All right, so I can't put 2 Dhelmise down. I have to keep 1 secret. I have to keep 1 safe. That's fine. I'm going to Gwyn away double shot, but I just need a Prism Tower and a Sneaker. That also works. That is also really good. Okay, so let's go Ultra Ball away those 2. I already am threatening a knockout on the dude, which is hilarious. All right, well, just Dhelmise and go for it, I guess. Vengeful Anchor. Can't put the Dhelmise down, so if you don't play Shaymin, it is very important. If you don't play Shaymin and you're facing off against Slowking, do not overbench the Dhelmise. That is the most important thing, is you cannot overbench Dhelmise, because they'll just go 110 to 3. So you want to keep your bench as limited as possible if you don't play Shaymin. If you do play Shaymin, this is a free win. It is the easiest win of your life, because they don't have enough resources to take 7 freaking KOs. Oh my God, that's just... Oh, hello there, Meowth. It would be a real Shaymin if you had 170 hit points and Dhelmise did that exact amount of damage. It would be really crappy if you only had 170 hit points and I could easily knock you out. Oh, my balls, they are so tight. All right, here we go. All right, do you think they're going to draw, or do you think they did that for Slowking? Oh, they did it for draw. Okay, so then are they just going to go for like Academy at Night Pokepad? Yeah, did they Cypher Maniac for Academy at Night Pokepad when they could have just Cypher Maniac for the 2 cards? They could have Cypher Maniac for their... I mean, what makes more sense? I think it makes more sense to Cypher Maniac the Q-Room on top and then put your top deck underneath than to Cypher Maniac then run Errand, because then you don't know what your top deck is going to be next. I don't know. You know I can't do math. You know I can't do things like basic math and stuff like that. Don't ask me to do basic things, okay? All right? So we want to put the Legacy Energy there, because I know I'm going to attack with that guy next turn. I mean, I have the bosses, right? I have the bosses in my hand. The Mega Kangaskhan is just sitting there all supple and, you know, waiting to be all supple and nubile, you know, with that ready to run some errands. And at the grocery store, they can't run away from you, so that's the best place to hit on women. Okay, so this is the Moltres build. There's no Spiritomb. There's a 4-3 Banette and a 2-1 Sinistcha, this is sort of the typical Japanese list, just the Moltres version. So there's Prism Energy, there's Moltres. No Spiritomb, though. That is kind of bad. The lack of Spiritomb, not great. You know, I did play the Froslass build for quite a bit. You know, you see my win-loss ratio. Most of the problems were just due to prizing. I faced Festival Lead, prized the Snow Run, prized the Poltergeist, both of the cards I needed to win. And then that just amounted to me losing. But you can see how Slowking can lose to Festival. You see how Slowking can lose to Hide and Sneak is if you're smart. If you can get that turn 1 Vengeful Anchor, especially on a Mega Kangaskhan, wait, there's no way. There's no way. There is no way you're putting another Mega Kangaskhan into play. I don't think there's a world where I go after it, but like, what are you doing? All right, I guess I go Night Stretcher, Pokepad, Moltres is dumb. There's another Kyurem. So I guess I just knock out the Meowth. But they're probably not going to affect my hand. So I think if I just set myself up properly, they can't win. I just knock out the Slowking with the Dhelmise, and then I bosses the Meowth, and then what are they going to do? No, it is correct to knock out the Meowth. I take that back. It is correct to knock out the Meowth here. So let's go Buddy Poffin. Let's get Dudunsparce, and let's just get everybody out of the deck. And yeah, I'm just going to thin everybody out because they can only take 3 prizes maximum. So I know it seems like I'm being a dummy dummerson, but they can only take 3 prizes. If they want to go for the Dudunsparce, Patrat, and whatever, that's fine. You want to take that knockout, that is fine with me, because I got bosses on your kitty cat. And then I'm going to attach that there. I'm going to Vengeful Anchor. So if they attacked with Slowking, I win. So the reason that I bossed up the Meowth is I have 1 prize card left, and the only thing they're attacking with is Slowking, or I guess they could attack with a Clefairy, but if they attacked with anyone but Slowking, that's fine. Yeah, like that's fine. You want to attack with anyone but Slowking? Go for it. I don't care. So that is one way you can win, is just limit your Dhelmise and get your legacy energy. And, don't prize everything you need, which is what half of my losses were.